Wow. So that's you. That's really cool. We had this extra hour and we wanted to make it vibrant, wanted to make it fun. And one of the things that we wanted to do was to introduce you to different artists in the area. It's called Artist Bio. It ought to really be Artist Autobiography because we like to hear them talk a little bit about themselves, not so much maybe about the music or what they're doing or their books. We hear a lot about those, but we want to find out more about the artists themselves. Joining us this morning, Alexandria McNeely, talented soprano hailing from right here in Hickory. Thanks so much for joining us, getting up early on a Friday morning. Nice to have you with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. So that was you, huh?
That was me.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
I've got all kinds of questions I'd love to ask about I don't know if it's called the vibrato in the, yeah, and that's really cool. And that's got to be, so I guess the first things first. Are you originally from the area?
Yes, I'm from Hickory.
Hickory. How did you get interested in opera? Because let's face it, opera, you don't normally think Hickory, North Carolina, opera. You normally don't think that. So how did you get interested in that type of music?
Well, actually, whenever I was young, I was interested in musical theater. So I did that for a long time. When I was about 17, I was a part of the Lenore Mine Youth Chorus all growing up since middle school. So when I was about 17, I went on a trip to Europe with that group, and I sang my first classical duet. And my director at the time, Florence Jowers, she was like, you really should look into studying classical music because I think you're really good at it. So she had me start lessons with Dr. Judith Burbank, who was the professor at LR at the time. And I fell in love with it. From the very first time I sang an aria, I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Now, do you have to understand? Because oftentimes, from what I understand, and I know nothing really about opera, okay, I just really don't, but I know that oftentimes we'll have a libretto and a story that goes along with it. So I know that Mozart, of course, was famous for operas, and sometimes, if I'm not mistaken, in the native German language, because I saw Amadeus, okay, so there you go. But also there's Italian that are very, very famous. So do you actually go in and understand the words that you're singing? I would think that would be vital.
Yeah,
because it is such an emotional medium. And so do you understand the story in its native language?
Yeah, I actually was working on translations last night.
Really?
I have to go through my score and write all of the words, like what they mean, because if you don't know what you're singing about, nobody's going to want to listen to you. Right. Because it's about just emoting those feelings to the audience. That's the job, you have to make someone feel something, and if you don't know what you're feeling, you can't explain it to them.
Sure, exactly right. That's what I was thinking. So you do use you have not gone in and studied the language.
I have actually. It's just I like to be sure. I've studied Italian and German.
Really?
And then French, I don't understand how, I don't know what they're saying, but I know how to translate it.
Okay, so translation there is important. So you do know the story a lot deeper than we would just see with the libretto, and you kind of know. And how much work do you do on knowing the composers and knowing a lot about the background of the music and of the opera itself? It seems to me, because this is musical theater at its very roots. This is, for me, this is where everything else kind of has come from as far as musicals and show tunes. I don't know, but is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, opera is what a lot of things are based off of. Like, if you know the musical Rent, that was based off of the opera La Traviata.
Oh, okay.
So, or La Boheme, I'm sorry. Okay, it's basically tropes that are used now were a lot of times based off of operas and what they're about. So now do you go in and do you study the composers? Do you study that part of it, or is it mostly the voice work that you do? No, I mean, thankfully a lot of operatic composers are pretty famous, like Mozart, Puccini. So like you learn about those in school.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you do have to know the background. You have to know what's happening with the other characters in the storyline, because you can't just go out there and be like, oh, here is a song, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot more. I think, I don't know, but than just doing the performance of the music. Let's go back and talk about you more. I want to talk about the time that you grew up in the Lenore Ryan Youth Chorus.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in the church choir? Did you grow up singing country music on your granddaddy's lap? I mean, how did it all start?
I honestly have been singing since I could talk, or before I could talk. My family is pretty musical. My mom, she wanted to be a singer, but she had me. And my dad was also really into singing, and my grandpa, my whole family was in the choir, so at church. So when I was young, I joined, the kids choir and all that. And then as I got older, I just loved any type of theater or singing, or I just did it wherever I could. And I was taking piano lessons, actually, because I wanted to sing and play Taylor Swift and sing along. Good. And my piano teacher, she was actually the pianist for the Lenore Ryan Youth Chorus, Miss Frida Harrell. And she encouraged me to audition, and so I'm glad I did. I mean, it brought me where I am today. So. Are
you doing this? You were one of these people who are very fortunate. You are making a living doing what you love. Yeah. Because you were telling me before we came on the air that you actually have a variety of duties and jobs. One of those is leading a church choir, right?
Yes.
And so that kind of comes full circle for you. You've been there. You know what it's like. Is that enjoyable for you? Is it challenging? Yeah. Do you really like the spiritual part of it?
I love it there. Yeah. I mean, I've been at the church that I work at for a year now, First Baptist Church of Marion, and they are just so welcoming, and they've taken me in, and I love being there. And yeah, it's really cool to be in charge, be on the other side, and teach them what I've learned.
So do you do youth choir there as well? Do you do all the music?
We have a little kids choir. Right. Yeah. I'm in charge of the adult choir, little kids choir, handbells.
All that. So you're doing that. But now, as of today, is opera the real dream? Is that the real love? Would you like to perform in New York or internationally? Is that what it is?
Yeah. And I mean, I have done some of that already. But yeah, I would love to do that full time, but that's a little bit harder than it used to be.
Really?
Yeah, it used to be pretty feasible, like back in the day, that you could just be an opera singer full time, but nowadays it's pretty difficult to make that happen.
And why is that?
I guess less people are aware of opera. Okay. And it's more competitive because it's less people that listen to it, but like more people that want to sing it. Okay, so, and as a soprano, there's so much competition.
Really? And that's difficult because you're a pretty big hitter yourself. I mean, from what I don't want to go over some of these awards and accolades, if you don't mind, because now your education was here in the Greater Hickory Metro, right?
Yes.
And then you did your undergraduate work where?
Lenore Ryan.
And then and what a great, I mean, I know you're not related, but Ray McNeely and the a cappella choir, what a great opportunity to be at a great place that has a wonderful music program.
Oh, yeah.
And so then after that, the Eastman School, is that right? And I didn't even have to look at the paper on that. I was like, when you told me that, I was like, well, there's a name even I recognize.
Yes.
So you attended there as well, correct?
Yeah. Rochester, New York.
So tell me about that. What was that like? Because that's kind of like some of the best in the country, is it not?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was just so cool to be around people who are like me and love what they're doing in the arts, whatever it is. Because, like, there's people that are jazz musicians or string players, like from all over the country and all over the world. And being in that like little bubble, especially because it's cold there, like there's not much other things to do than to practice.
Right.
It's just a really cool.
Is that where you really sharpened your chops? Is that Eastman School and having the time and being with those people and hearing and having that level of instruction? Is that really where you feel like you elevated yourself to
For
where?
Sure. Yeah. And also, I mean, at LR, I got so many different opportunities because I wanted them. So they really allowed me to do as much as I wanted to do, like outside of school, because even though LR isn't a big music program, like there was a lot of opportunity to do.
It's funny that you would say that, because I consider their music program there to be robust. I really do. But maybe not compared to some other schools. But you're there now, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it's even better now because you're there. We'll do more and talk more with our guest this morning, our artist bio, Alexandria McNeely. More First Talk right after this.
This is WHKY Hickory, 1290 AM and 102.3 FM. Your news starts right now.
Good Friday morning. I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News. Catawba County Sheriff Don Brown announced his intention to run for a third term in office. The sheriff released a statement Thursday into protecting the rights of North.
Don't be misled. Call My Dr. Ted at 1-800-MY-DOCTOR-TED.
WHKY Talk Radio. Jason Savage Sports.
Catawba Valley Community College announces that Tisha Ing.
Showers and thunderstorms. Don't be misled. Call My Doctor.
Throughout each case, the highly trained support staff at Dr. Ted Grieve and Associates works with clients on an individual one.
Now that they will pick up your empty tank, drop off a full tank, so you don't have to worry about hauling the tank around. James Oxygen, it's actually James Oxygen and Supply, can help you as well with everything that you need to stay warm in the winter, but also cool in the summer. Keep what's in the cooler nice and cold with the dry ice, and they'll show you how to use it safely. James Oxygen right here in Hickory. James Oxygen. That's lovely. What is that piece that we were just hearing? What's that from?
It's from an opera called Die Fledermaus.
The flying bat. It's about the bat, right? The flying mouse, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's another one I happen to know.
You know a lot. You said you didn't know anything.
I don't know anything about this stuff, but yeah, the bat or the flying mouse.
Yeah.
The flying mouse. Okay. During the break, we talked a little bit about the fact you're doing what you love, and you're making a living at it. But
Yes.
you're with Lenore Ryan University, and you're helping our buddy over there, Dr. Ryan Lewis, right?
Yeah.
And so that's part of you. We're at LR. You've come back. You're doing that full circle. You're working with the church and music director there, or choir director. And you're also working, doing what you love, singing opera in Charlotte, which is really, I think, pretty cool. Because,
Thank you.
I mean, you think about the Met and you think about the big opera companies, but Charlotte's a world-class city, and you are with that company. You're with the Charlotte Opera Company. That's pretty impressive to me. Are you enjoying that part of it as well?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Any chance I get to be on the stage, that's where I love to be.
Now, you started off with musical theater. Do you love the big, now, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to have to guide me along this. Opera is big costumes, big sets, big makeup. It's all really, do you like that part of it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's one of the biggest perks is like getting to wear fancy clothes and dress up like someone else,
Yeah. I mean, now I know that you have that normally in theater and being able to do different roles, because you've done different roles in different parts of theater. But I'm thinking opera is just so much next level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like next
Way more
level.
dramatic. Yeah.
So that's what I don't want to look at. So much more dramatic. Tell me a little bit, of course, the Eastman School. If you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit, because I've got the information here, but I'd rather hear it from you. Tell me a little bit about some of the awards, some of the accolades, and some of the things that you have done that you feel most proud of, and the things that, and maybe some of the performances that have really made either a difference or something that you just feel like, yeah, this is what I need to be doing. This is right where I am. I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing a lot of competitions this past year.
Okay.
The most notable one was the Metropolitan Opera L'Enfant competition. I won first place in North Carolina district in Charlotte. So that was pretty cool because I got to move on to the regional round, which was in Atlanta at Spivey Hall. And that was an amazing experience, which I get to do again because I'm pre-qualified coming up in January. I get to compete again in that competition.
And so that's fun. You like the competition.
Yeah. I mean, I don't love the act of competing against other singers because I think everybody should be able to do it if they want to and if they have that passion. But it's just something about, I guess, getting the validation of no, you're a real singer, you
Yeah.
can do this. So that's nice because it's a very hard industry to be in.
I would think so. And from what you told me, the competition was maybe not the audience size that you had at one time, and more people actually wanting to get into it and to provide folks with that, with your talent. So I'm sure that's extremely challenging. How about on a local level? What have you done here? Because I know you've worked with Keith Smith, and you've worked in Lenore and at the Hudson Uptown building, and you've done some things there. If I'm not mistaken, Madam Buttermilk, I think there was a role. Was it written specifically for you?
It wasn't written for me, but it felt like it was
Really?
because
Okay.
it's actually about an opera singer who has to go to the South and sing in a country band because there was a mix-up with her agent who thought she was getting the role of Carmen, but it turns out it was the role of singing as a lead singer in a band called the Carmen.
Oh.
And they sing about cars.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it kind of feels like my life sometimes.
But that was fun for you.
Oh, it was so fun. Yeah.
Now, you told me during the break, and I think this is very interesting, that your voice and your particular style of singing, that your voice won't really mature until you're 40 years old, and you're very young. You're a young person. So this is going to be something that if you really want to excel and make a living at it, you have to be around this for a while.
Yeah, it's a long trajectory, that's for sure. But I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else, to be honest. So.
Is that kind of the deal with where you are? You can't imagine yourself doing anything else. You've got to be around music because I've talked to a lot of people who are very successful, and it's not so much about the money, and it's not so much about the schedule, but it's just they feel like this is something they have to do.
Yeah,
and it's their calling, and some people would say, some people would just say that it's their gift, but this is something, and so you're in that camp. This is something you got to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if I'm not singing for a while, it feels like a piece of me is not there. Like it's just something that is part of me and who I am. So
this is something that you will be pursuing and something that you will continue to work at. How difficult is the work? How difficult is it? Because I know it's not like being a bricklayer. I get that, right?
It's pretty difficult, to be honest. It's honestly a sport. Like being on stage, if you think about it, you're wearing a corset most of the time. You're wearing a big dress like you would in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Like you have all this costume, and then you have to sing with technique, and you sometimes might have to lay on the ground, depending on the staging, whatever the director wants, and you have to do these like complicated runs and be able to sing for really long time. It's just a lot, and people don't realize how involved it is because you really have to use your whole body when you sing. So I've honestly started working out like in the past year, and that's helped me so much with my singing. Yeah. Because it's just like so involved with the body and the breath.
That's, I would think, I was going to say, to me, the physicality of it. Like I said, it's not like a bricklayer. Maybe it is.
It honestly is.
Maybe it's like being a mason. Because then the only reason I use that is because I was a mason's helper one summer.
My grandpa was a mason.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you something about your grandpa right now. Country strong. Big guy, right? I mean, big shoulders, big arms. The guy's big. I don't care how he started. He might have started out, being called tiny, but he's because I know that about masons, so that's why I use that reference. But you have that. That's something that the physicality of it, the talent that it takes, because you've been given the talent. I think a lot of people, but then it takes that hard work.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people may be talented and don't apply that hard work, but obviously you're doing that. So what will we see from you next, ma'am?
Well, I'm currently in the process of applying for a bunch of young artist programs, which is like apprenticeships, training programs with opera companies for young singers. And that'll take up a lot of the fall. And then in January, I will be participating in the Met competition again and hope to do some other competitions. But I have to travel a lot for this work. I go to New York quite often. So,
but see, that's, I mean, the way you're like, I'm going to go to New York. I'm like, I got to go to New York. I think that would be like a blast, I think
no, it is.
That would be so fun to be able to do that. You've traveled, you've gotten to, starting right here in Hickory or in the area, you've gotten to see several different foreign countries. You've gotten to enjoy their cultures. You've gotten to study foreign language. So I think this has been a really good, whoever I can't remember her name, but the one that you performed, said, do this, I think she might have had it right on. Might have had the right idea. So nice seeing you again. I've met you before.
Yes.
When you were younger.
Yes.
You were younger. But Alexandria McNeely, talented soprano from our area. More First Talk right after this. Thanks. Good to see you.
Thank you. You too.
First Talk with Hal